Hi guys, welcome back to the news. My country people, in the midst of the ongoing controversies surrounding President Bola Tinubu's academic records supposedly obtained from the Chicago State University, the Aligned People's Movement has asked the Supreme Court to set aside the judgment of the Presidential Election Petitions Court and nullify Tinubu's election for choosing the Vice President Kasim Shettima as his running mate in the 2023 election. At the Presidential Election Petition Court, the APM, through its petition, had alleged that Shettima was a senatorial candidate for the Borno Central Senatorial District when he accepted to be running mate to President Tinubu. According to the APM, Tinubu allegedly violated the Electoral Act 2022 by nominating Shettima because he allegedly held a dual candidacy. It then sought an order nullifying all the votes gained by Tinubu over the alleged double nomination of Shettima. But the lawyers representing the Independent National Electoral Commission, Tinubu, Shettima, the All Progressive Congress, and Kebiru Masari, Shettima's placeholder at the time, raised preliminary objections against the petition, insisting Shettima duly withdrew as a senatorial candidate of the APC and notified the electoral umpire about it before his nomination as the VP. Passing its verdict on the matter, the five-man Presidential Election Petition Court, chaired by Justice Haruna Tesmini, dismissed the APM's petition. But in an appeal entered at the Supreme Court by the APM's lawyer, Chukwuemeka Marachukwu Ume San, the appellant asked the Apex Court to declare that the lower court engaged in a perverse miscarriage of justice when it dismissed its petition, which, critically considering the provisions of the 1999 Constitution, which stipulates disqualification for office of the president and his vice. The party urged the Apex Court to void Tinubu's election on the grounds of alleged unlawful nomination of Kasim Shettima. My country people, this is serious. So it's so obvious that the APM now, they've joined Atiku in asking the Supreme Court to sack Tinubu as the president. They've joined both Atiku and Obi to voice out their concerns on Tinubu's issue. Hey, my country people, this one a serious matter. Guys, Nigerians have reacted. Double nomination form is automatic disqualification, but tribunal said it wasn't intentional and struck out the case. So let's see what the Supreme Court will do based on their judgment. This dream can never be possible. If the Supreme Court failed to sack Tinubu, then they should get ready. The fact remains here that truly Tinubu is not supposed to be a senator, governor, and president in the first place. He has cases of forgery, perjury, drugs, narcotics, criminal case, corruption, etc. Everything about him is controversial. Haba, wetin him get Nigeria. Judiciary should redeem their image now or never. They have the audacity to say go to court because judiciary is one-way traffic. Well, it is possible, but then this is like a daylight dreaming. This is another story of the gods, but it should be a very welcoming development. But then, the judiciary, is it the technicality one or another one? They will technically throw the forgery case away. See, Nigeria judiciary is using technology to give justice. Technicality. That is how we are seeing it. Okay, my country people. These are reactions from Nigerians. Guys, no be today we begin here about Kasim Shettima's double nomination. Even in the petition of Obi and Atiku, they also mentioned this. But you see, the court rejected their petition. They rejected their petition because they once filed a petition requesting for Tinubu and Shettima's disqualification. But then the Court of Appeal that ruled, gave its judgment, they said no, that it doesn't stand. So they had to struck it out. They had to struck it out. Now the court on September struck out the petition of the APM, the petition of the Labour Party, the PDP, seeking the nullification of Tinubu's election on the grounds that they were lacking merit for being incompetent. The court further challenged and said that these petitioners shouldn't in any way try to appeal against this judgment. They warned them that they shouldn't appeal against the judgment. They said the PDP's petition lacked local standing. The Labour Party lacked local standing. The APM too lacked local standing to challenge Tinubu's nomination. Because they once said, since Kasim Shettima, who is the vice president and then was Tinubu's running mate, wasn't supposed to have double nomination. But then they said, this is it, oh, they cannot disqualify Kasim Shettima over his double nomination. But then, my country people, the court has ruled for this. And then they said, see, oh, their petition has no legal ground for disqualification. And then they kicked it out. That is just it. That was how the tribunal delivered judgment on both Obi, Atiku, and the APM case against Tinubu and Kasim Shettima. So, this is how we are seeing this issue, my country people. So, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Aside the petitions of Atiku and Obi, the APM, they are still seeking the disqualification of Tinubu from the 2023 presidential election on the grounds of alleged unlawful nomination of Kasim Shettima. And then they struck it out. So guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Thank you.